Morning, everyone. Lovely to have to see so many lovely faces. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people coming in throughout the session. As for those who've been to the AGM before, because we give over such a big chunk to members, to speakers, and so forth, the first 20 minutes is like a quick speed race for me. It's a 100-meter dash to get through all the usual AGM stuff. So, welcome to the fourth AGM for SIDCN charity. And what an AGM it is set to be, as I'm sure you cannot have missed, that it's our 10th birthday. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you all to sing yet. Um, I also realised today, thank you very much, Mar, for a reminder as well, that it is Vic Hancock Bell's birthday today, who actually was the founder of the Facebook group. So, yeah, how those stars aligned, I don't know, but we'll call it luck. It's been an amazing 10 years. I'm not going to say too much about it now because we've got some time to reflect on the 10 years later on in the session. And we'll be unveiling our 10-year anniversary video. A quick note on housekeeping. So please introduce yourself in the chat box, your name, your organisation. Now you can put your location, but also we have a Mentimeter today. We have two Mentimeters today. One is going to be asking you, where are you? So jot down, I think already I put I'm in Shropshire today. And also we'll have a follow-up one, which I'll show you in a minute. We will be finishing at 2:30. The session is being recorded. We are only going to be recording the main body, so the main session. The speakers in our first half of the AGM, we won't be recording discussions, and we won't be recording discussions the second half either. So it would just be the main kind of learning and sharing information and not the capturing the discussions as we would normally do. So please do get your phones out and click on the link there for the Mentimeter, and please do use the chat throughout the session. Please also, we remain on mute for the main body, but obviously when you're in the rooms, you'll be able to kind of chat to one another. And then we've got the second Mentimeter, which is what one word would you use to describe SIDCN? Excuse me. Whether you're new to SIDCN or whether you've been a part of SIDCN over the last 10 years, what one word kind of jumps up? And we'll have hopefully a beautiful Mentimeter word cloud to share with you a bit later on. Right, so, I think I forgot to say, I'm Amber Shotton and I'm the Chair of Trustees for SIDCN. And our agenda is a bit different this year. So, whilst the past AGMs have usually handed over big chunks to members to share their work and their experience, we're going to be using this AGM a bit slightly differently this time. We've brought in a few experts to answer some important questions that have been posed over the last couple of years, and also we want to understand what does the next 10 years of SIDCN look like for the sector, for you as organisation, you as small not-for-profit organisations working globally and in global solidarity, and how can SIDCN support. So we will be looking and embarking on a review of the strategy for 2026. The current strategy has been great and has steered us in the current direction over the last 3 to 4 years, but we'll be taking a moment to take stock, check in with you, and make sure that it's fit for purpose going forward. So this afternoon sessions, the session where we talk about looking ahead, we really want to hear from you because that is your chance to input into that journey that we're going to go into. This year we've brought a number of sector experts, as I said, who understand the importance of smalls globally. We're going to be hearing from Aga Khan Foundation, the Big Give, as well as experts in international financial reporting and board diversity as well. But you're going to know, hopefully you've seen a lot of the comms about that anyway. And don't worry, SIDCN Fest 2026 is in the planning. Well, it's in planning in my head, not everybody else yet, but it's in the planning. And we will continue to feature heavily our members in their experience, but also look out for SIDCN's podcast. Season 2 is coming to you, and we have some new opportunities for members to share their experiences as well on the podcast. So please do, and we'll share some links at the very end for you to look and sign up for that. As we must do, we have to do a quick refresh or review of the AGM of 2025. Just there on the right hand side, you can see a quick summary. So we had another successful AGM back then. We handed over even more time to members to share their stories and expertise and experiences. We had a wide range of topics and regions. We had speakers from Sierra Leone, Venezuela, covering global LGBTQ plus. We had Romania, the Caribbean, Asia. So we had a fantastic mix of locations and topics. We also reflected on our missing of the gender equity target for our speakers last year, and that was as a result of being so excited about getting such a breadth of speakers that we missed the bar. But successfully, we readdressed that for the remainder of 2025 with a great mix of speakers within the festival. We also had three renews of trustees, which included the founding trustee, Olivia, myself as chair, and Lizzie as treasurer. And we had just well over 150 registrants for last year. So it was a really successful AGM, and we hope that this one is equally. Just a quick reminder, because I'm going to give you a quick whistle stop tour of this year. You will be able to have access to a body of the slides. They will be held within the members areas of the website. So don't forget, if you're not already set up on the website as a free member, you've got access to lots of resources in there. And just to remind you, this is our theory of change and our strategic objectives, which we have been working to over the last few years. And these are things that we are going to be looking and reviewing in the coming year as part of our strategy review. So each of the working group leads, thank you so much for putting in the energy and all the volunteers and the team for all the work that's been done over the past year. There's lots of detail in the slides. I'm not going to read through them. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a history of what's been going on. So it's been a busy agenda of external speakers and asking you what you want in the future. So the past 10 years have been continue to build upon the great work of SIDCN and what we achieved in 2024. The team continues to do their thing, although we said goodbye to Casey partway through the year due to other commitments. But Alice, based in Kenya, Izzy in the UK, continued to work their magic. And hopefully you have seen that in everything that's been happening within SIDCN. Collectively, this little team have continued to blow my mind on their amplification of member stories and connections made. They have been carefully supported by an amazingly active and supportive team of volunteers and trustees. In 2025, Connect delivered over 50 forums, including New Trustee Forum and Health Forum, for peers to meet, learn, and share, with 245 sign-ups, which was far more than our 2024 SIDCN Fest. We had a fantastic SIDCN Fest with, I think we had about 90 attend on the day, plus others kind of accessing the videos on the YouTube channel. So higher than before. Facebook saw a 1% increase in our members, but we saw significantly higher percentage within the website. So we had an extra 146 members join the website, which now means that we're about 10%. So 10% of the Facebook group members are now successfully onto the website. And accessing lots of great stuff. We continue to look to migrate members over, and there's always going to be the Facebook there, but also really helps us with being sharing kind of content, and also manage the charity appropriately through the website. And I think the commissioned monthly, the funder spreadsheet might be quite a helpful pull to the website, because that is now where it's shared. So for those of you who don't know, we commission alongside the UK Alliance a spreadsheet of funder research specifically for international development charities, and that's held monthly and updated on the website. We've seen SIDCN's Radical Change podcast produced 8 episodes, whoop whoop, to amplify, and it continues to do amazing newsletters and blogs. We became an ADEX media partner and represented SIDCN at ADEX conferences in Nairobi and Geneva. Yes, we're getting out there, people, and continued to increase our social media followers. Influence, again, equally being busy, continue to engage the UK government on small charity priorities. There's been attendance to over 11 meetings. We've submitted evidence in support of small charities' interests to the International Development Committee, attended the APPG on charities and volunteering, and represented SIDCN at a number of foreign secretaries' receptions, and featured at the Civil Society Media podcast as well. We continue to be part of the UK Alliance, so that's working alongside Bond, Swindon, CARDA in Northern Ireland, HCA in Wales, and CEDA in Scotland, and build SIDCN's profile across the sector. I'm particularly proud of SIDCN's involvement in bringing international development small charities into this year's Small Charities Week Big Give campaign. Can I have a whoop whoop? Yay! I was so pleased. The deadline for the inclusion for June is this February, but you're going to hear a bit more about that from Sahil, who's in one of the breakout sessions today, and share a bit more about the opportunity. If you are not in that breakout, don't worry, we are recording that bit, and you'll be able. We'll make sure that's a priority and goes onto the YouTube channel ASAP. She says, looking at Izzy and Alice, so that people can look at that and get themselves ready, because it's not long. I think we've only got maybe a week or so left before that deadline. Excuse me. And for admin and sustainability, we continue to support the delivery of the SCDO grant, secured sponsorship, and we also increased our grant with SCDO, which enabled us to do a few more podcasts than we had originally had planned for. So yay. You will have seen that there are notes at the bottom there around what the working groups are considering for the year ahead. But as I said, a really important aspect of what we want to do this year is to look at the strategy. So this is your time to feed into that and to help us shape what we plan for the year ahead. Oh, over to you, Lizzie, to talk about some of the annual accounts.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amber. I'm Lizzie. I'm the Treasurer at SIDCN, and it's my role today to share with you a very brief summary of our accounts up until the 31st of December 25. So that's last year, calendar year. Basically, our major income was from the FCDO grant, and that has helped us fund most of our spending, which has been in paying our freelance team who have helped with communications, events, podcasts, all the things that Amber's just talked to you about throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, we finished with a surplus of £2,120, and that moving forward, we've got some more grant funding from FCDO, and we will continue to use our funds for our charitable objectives of connecting, amplifying and influencing for small international charities. Back over to you, Amber.
Thank you very much. And a big thing to mention is, and if you look at last year's impact, is that a good proportion, I think over a third of our grant goes to our members. So making sure that it's accessible to you to access. So if we ask you to do a podcast, then we'll make a contribution to your time, and a big proportion. And that's very much our ethos. Going forward, we know that as a small, we understand smalls, and it does help us to have a bit of a contribution to doing these things. So we will continue to work in that vein. Right, over to the next big thing. So you will have seen, hopefully, you've read my blogs, that over the last few months, SIDCN's had a fantastic recruitment round for new trustees. We had around 60 applications of amazing candidates, and we really struggled to choose. So much so that when we originally had thinking about just 3 trustees, we just couldn't do it. We had to choose 5, and this also includes a new vice chair role as well. You will have seen, whether through the email newsletter, members area on the website, Facebook group, social media, the summaries about our new candidates and the journey that we went on, as well as the current trustees that are restanding. I think it's a really, really positive indictment of SIDCN that we have We have 12 excellent trustees, and yes, that is a full house, to take us forward into 2026. So not only uh, those restanding, but also newbies. And just the total interest in SIDCN and the work that our members do, I think, is a huge indictment. So voting as part of our standard criteria, a third rotation has to happen within as part of the constitution. So the following trustees are standing down, but also restanding, which is Janine, Marl, Corey, and Katerina. We then have our wonderful addition of newly recruited trustees. Now, they must be formally ratified by members, but they do not form part of the third rotation. But we just want to make sure that we can get them ratified by you all. And then that just leaves myself, Lizzie, and Olivia as the remaining. And myself and Lizzie on our second term, and Olivia on her third. So just to reiterate, our approach to ratifying trustee appointments again. So the board recognises the Facebook group as the main body of the membership still. And we have been investing in the website to enable the CIO to kind of manage membership better, so we can have a better understanding of numbers and more formality around that. But we are not losing the fact that ultimately we are born out of the Facebook group. So we've got those ongoing efforts to encourage members to come across and to bring in new prospective members as well. But until we see a greater number of members onto the website, will we kind of change our approach. So what we will do and what we continue to do is, because I think at the moment we're just about 10% of members from the Facebook group onto the website. So until we see a larger number, we will continue to use this space to ratify our members. So if you are a small international development, global, not-for-profit organisation here today as a member, please do vote. If you are a supporter, a speaker, of interest, have an associate membership, please can you not vote in this session now? And for those who are voting, basically, it's just to confirm that you're happy with the existing trustees to restand and for our new trustees to join. And the poll, which is going to come out now, it will make clear each individual. I'm going to share it now and give you a good couple of minutes, because actually there's 9 names on there. As I said, you've got the renewals and you've got the new, so hopefully that's popping up on your screen. You can say yes, you approve, no, or you can abstain. We have shared the contacts and information about our trustees over the last month, just before Christmas. So hopefully you've had sufficient time to be able to make an informed decision. But what I will say is, in the small time that we've had of working with our new trustees, they're a fantastic bunch. They have already attended events with us at the end of last year. We can thank one of our trustees, Anya, for the video today, and they've been very active. So there you go. Actually, whilst there's silence, I might actually just stop sharing my screen and hand over to Anya to share Mentimeter.
There we go.
Wow, thank you. So where are we joining from today? We've got a lot of London, but Uganda, Nairobi's also there. Scotland, we've got we've also got some. Oh, is that a mix of the two as well? So we've got supportive, inspiring. Oh, we have Sweden. We have a real mix there. Leeds, UK. Yes, we've got a mix across the country, across the UK, but also we've got Europe and Africa as well. Lovely to see. And is there the second one, Anya?
Yes.
Educational belonging, awesome. I might have had something to do with that one. And support. Okay, well, I think there's probably a few more to come. So we'll show that again later on in the AGM today. So if you haven't seen it already, please do get your phone out and grab the Mentimeter and say where your location is, where you're calling in from today or dialing in from today, and also what one word makes you think that comes up when you think about SIDCN. Okay, still got a few more. Thank you. Still got a few more for voting. So please, if you can see the poll, please do complete that.
Right. Brilliant. Got more coming.
Inspiring, educational togetherness, voices of small, yes. Excellent. Right, we'll come back to that later on.
All right.
Bring
I shall
the
stop and hand over back to you, Amber.
go. Okay. So just checking, is any poll, is everybody okay? Everybody can access the poll. Only got kind of under half at the moment, we've got 45%. Normally get higher. I know there's quite a few to complete. Any more for any more? Right. I'm going to results. So excellent. So that's quite unanimous across all of our new trustees. That's amazing. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, I shall start that. And okay, so I think we've had quite a resounding yes. So we are a 12 strong board moving into 2026. So thank you very much, everybody who had completed the poll. Right, so moving on. So as I said at the start, we have split this into two sessions. The first session is an opportunity to hear from some expert speakers. And we have 4 rooms, which we're going to randomly move people into, and as I said, each room is going to be recorded, and we're going to record the speaker session, and then any kind of discussions won't be recorded, so you will be able to kind of hear what the speakers had to say. So in room 1 we've got Big Give 101, so insider tips and small global charities, so thank you to Sahil for that. In room 2 we have Sam covering the new IN pass, and what could it mean for your charity. So that's a really interesting one around this new first international accounting standard. Room 3 we've got our Khan Learning Hub, which is about some free resources for your charity, so thank you, Anna, for that. And in room 4 we have Malcolm talking about board diversity and racial diversity and the barriers and how to address that, as acting CEO of Board Racial Diversity UK. So I'm going to open up the rooms and make up rooms, and hopefully it will open rooms. And oh, actually no, it doesn't allow me to put everybody into the room, so I think you could just choose your rooms. I mean, is that right? Just checking. that people can just choose the rooms. Sorry, my bad. You can choose your rooms. It's this afternoon's one where you can't choose the rooms. So yes, that should be open, and you should be able to choose the rooms. They're labelled there for you to select the appropriate room. So yes, so fine. Thank you again for our speakers, and the recordings will be with you on the YouTube channel. Right, so I promised that I would do a very quick little stop tour of the past 10 years, and that I wouldn't make it all say happy birthday to SIDCN. So I was reflecting when I was asked to do this. I was kind of having a bit of reflection, and I thought, oh, what did 2016 look like? Well, what happened in 2016? When SIDCN began, the world looked a little different from today. We were leaving Europe, as in the UK. Donald Trump was elected. We were just kind of getting over a global pandemic of a virus called Zika. Still ongoing civil wars, and we lost a few global icons. And there's a couple there that I put on there, Muhammad Ali and Prince. And we saw the spread of fake news emerging as a serious problem and having huge implications on the likes of the US elections. And we also saw the start of driverless cars. So I actually thought, maybe the world is not so different now as it was back in 2016. However, Facebook saw its second most important development in 2016, and that was live streaming. So I don't remember, but that is when it all began, when live streaming from Facebook hit our big and little screens. So, but I know you all want to know what the number one most important development for Facebook, or Meta as it is now, and it wasn't called that then, in 2016. And that is, of course, the creation of the Facebook group, Small International Development Charities Network. And from little acorns, mighty charities, not-for-profits and INGOs are grown. So I did a bit of research, and I really did. I went back and I scrolled and I scrolled and I scrolled right back to the very first early post. And as part of the kind of the planning and intro, and I reached out to, I believe, is the first person to have posted a message, and that was Bran. And I reached out to Bran and I said, did you know you made the first post? And his response was, it was when I was working on the narrative project with Bond, when I was at Hub Camera Africa, who is a partner and part of the Alliance now. Looking at negative comms stereotypes and challenging the white saviour, starving child fundraising image and message approach, topping it from far more empowering one. It feels like a lifetime ago. I wish you all well. And what I really loved about that was that even from those very early days, and those very first posts on the Facebook group, SIDCN was championing better development and doing things better. From there, we've had brag baskets, Friday morning meetups, polls, advice sharing, the latest events, of the latest events and data that people have come across. We've got podcasts, LinkedIn. We have an external Facebook page now where we can share the messages and stories of our members. Instagram. We've had the renewal of the website, the creation, 2 websites actually in 10 years, and even a membership area now. We have a YouTube channel, we have forums, we have festivals, all driven by peers caring for peers. A community keen to learn and share and to do better development, to tackle difficult discussions and unlearn practices of the past, to be equitable and speak up for the little guy, to shift power and work equitably. So that's just what I think, but let me share what you all thought.
It's friendly, it's collaborative, and it's very, very solutions focused. It's a great space to bring a question, something that you're thinking about, something that you've just heard about for the first time, and find out whether someone might have some experience of it, someone might have some opinions, and problems get solved right there on the spot quite often.
Every day I get to work alongside people who care deeply about their work and the communities they serve, and I'm really happy to be part of a network that supports small organization and creates space for shared learning and collective voice.
For me, the most important thing about SIDCN is that I feel like I've got a team around me. I don't even work Fridays, but I join the call every Friday because I meet familiar people, I can relax, I can know that I'm not on my own in this world of smalls where we are on our own. And it just feels like a gang, a team, a support network, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Thank you.
We were fortunate enough to be able to deliver a workshop at SIDCN Fest a couple of years ago. It was an amazing opportunity to demonstrate how you can deal with the concepts of power and development very practically. The SIDCN members were extremely welcoming. It was a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to demonstrate what we do, and it was a game changer.
There's just so many people. There's a pool of people that you can talk to, you can ask questions of. You can say, has anybody got a policy on this? Or has anybody come across a problem like this? And people share all of their experiences. So what I love is that none of us are professionals. All of us are doing our very best, and we all share what we've got with each other.
I've been a member of SIDCN pretty much since it started, and our charity is coming up for 11 years old. So as one of 3 trustees of a tiny Scottish charity, the companionship that I've found in the Friday Connects and the learnings that I have been able to access through the various forums have been absolutely invaluable for me. So thank you so much, SIDCN, for all that you do.
What's great is that we can grow our network. We also get to meet new people working on the ground to understand the solutions and also the challenges faced. This supports our work to support international development through design, and also we get to share our experiences and skills with the wider group.
The Facebook group, I almost use it like a database at times, so I'll search for issues that I'm having to see whether other people have had those issues, learn from there, and then I can also use that to speak to people who have gone through it already and the best place to answer any questions that I might have or any advice that I might need.
So in 2020 we started doing Friday Connects, which was an idea just to get people together as we were all sitting in our homes. But that December I hosted a little Christmas party, and we had about 8-9 people show up. We had some balloon making, we had some fun games, and just people sitting around chatting, but in real life. And that, for me, as a community connector, was probably one of my favorites, just being able to get to know each other off screen and in real life.
Happy birthday, SIDCN. I love the Friday mornings. It's the meetings. It's great. It's a good laugh, and it's wonderful to connect with other people who are doing a similar type role in similar circumstances. Keep up the good work.
I created that group because I was feeling lonely and isolated, working in a small international development charity. And now here you all are, and this latest iteration of SIDCN, becoming a registered charity and doing all this amazing work in the sector and continuing to support small international development charities has been such a joy to watch and support. So happy birthday and keep up the amazing work.
10 years and lots happened. We've seen more wars, crises, climate change, issues happening around the globe, lack of solidarity. However, in those 10 years, it's also been really nice to have seen this small network grow, blossom, where I've seen sharing and learning and caring, calling out but being kind, and helping and supporting and influencing. And that's just been a real pleasure in and amongst the last 10 years. So well done, Smalls, for being mighty, maintaining your network and supporting one another, especially through difficult times. And may SIDCN still be here in 10 years' time. Happy 10th birthday.
Oh, yes, Olivia, it gets me every time, and it wouldn't be an AGM or a fest if I wasn't brought to tears. For those of you that have been with me as a chair for the last 4 years. So anyway, I first of all, huge thank you to Anya for putting all the time in to pull that together. It's much appreciated. Like, it's amazing for your first foray as a trustee of SIDCN. It's really, really appreciated. I was trying to find a quote of inspiration before sharing the anniversary video. And I couldn't quite exactly find what I wanted, but I did find something. I thought, oh, that's quite a nice paraphrase at the end, from an individual, and they said, for solidarity is much more than a feeling of a vague compassion at the misfortune of others. Solidarity is no mere ideal; it is expressed in concrete actions and steps that draw us closer to our neighbours in whichever situation they find themselves. And I just thought that really summed up SIDCN for me. But anyway, it's been an amazing 10 years, and it's been so lovely to hear and see all the stories and reflections from everyone. Right, so part 2 of getting together and hearing from you. So as I said at the start, if you may just joined, this is a big year. We are going to be reviewing the strategy and refreshing the strategy, and where better to start is to hear from you about, what is it that SIDCN and as a working group and as a board of trustees that we can do to continue to support global schools by connecting, amplifying and influencing over the next 10 years. There's no right or wrong answers. We just want to hear from you about your reflections, and that will then help to shape what we do going forward in our strategy and pulling that together. So there are 3 rooms. We're going to randomly allocate you to the rooms, and we're just going to give kind of like half an hour just to post some questions and really just to get your feedback. They're not going to be recorded, but there will be a number of trustees and the team in the rooms just to capture the key points, so we can make sure that what we do going forward is coming from you as our members. So I will open up the rooms. You've got room 1, which is Corey, Jan and Awaz. We've got room 2, which is Janine, Ania and Anna, and in room 3, Mal, Zara and Olivia. So I shall open the rooms.
Amber,
Yes.
it says I've been assigned to room 1, but I'm trying to get to room 3.
Okay, move you to. There you go.
Thanks.
Mal, are you in the right room? No.
I have also been assigned to room 1.
Honestly, yeah. Mal did its own this thing. I set it up and it's just changed it.
I was
Okay,
also
anybody
assigned
else?
to, yeah, I was also assigned to someone. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to have Janine. Not sure which one that is.
Okay.
Got it.
There you go. Izzy, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just hanging back to help if needed.
Mal, are you okay?
No.
Is Mal? Oh no, she's fine. Who else is needing to be moved into a room?
I think everyone is assigned now.
Yeah. So it should just pop up on your screen to enter the breakout room, or you can go down and click on to breakout rooms and it'll let you in.
Okay.
We talked about potentially having a buddy system within SIDCN, so people can connect peer-to-peer, and they notice that there are buddy systems or peer-to-peer systems outside for perhaps large organizations, but perhaps we could start thinking about that for SIDCN. The podcast is great, but perhaps we could do a bit more to share that we have a podcast with members, and then use a podcast to amplify members' voices a bit more. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. There are lots of resources on the website and on the group, but it's also difficult to find them, what's most useful, or what can be used by the members. And then there's some very good stories of members engaging with FCDO, with government, etc. So there are lots of natural organic touch points on the influencing point.
Lovely, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, some really good ideas there, but I'll go on to room 2 because we've not got masses of time. So Janine, Anya, and Anna.
Yeah, some good validation. I think that what was already there was valued. We talked about maybe for topics or themes for peer learning, impact might be a key area. We talked about country groups being helpful, not just from a sharing learning and specifics about, working in Uganda being different to working in India, for example, but also to linking into influence, where we picked up that there's the sort of the influencing that SIDCN does on behalf of its members, but also how can SIDCN help members to influence and engage stakeholders more effectively at a local level. And we talked about, wouldn't it be great if a key influence could be FCDO really seeing the value of small and reinstating the Small Charities Challenge Fund, but we also acknowledged that might be highly unlikely. And also identified for influencing social value international bodies, so that there's a really good approach in the construction industry here. For example, Nish was sharing about, where there's big construction projects, about that social value investment into community projects, but that isn't necessarily happening in other parts of the world. And on Amplify, we talked about some practicalities, like SIDCN could be sharing more member content and that kind of thing from their own social channels. And just a question we asked ourselves about, are we sort of in our own echo chamber where we're chatting about how brilliant we are to each other, but how much is it getting beyond the membership? Just some ideas that came through.
Brilliant, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. And finally, room 3, which is Mal, Zara, and Olivia.
Thank you very much. I will not mention some of the things that the rest have mentioned, but I will just add to what was being said in our room. So a number of good ideas really came out, and I think one of them was now that WhatsApp has a WhatsApp channel, because in some countries it's a little bit hard for people to join Facebook most of the time. It would be good if SIDCN considered having a WhatsApp channel for sharing some of the things, so that more members can be able to view them immediately they're out. And there was the aspect of shared data. So for example, the way we did during Big Give, kind of aggregate the impact of the fundraisings that were done during that time and share as a team to show the power of small charities. Someone was suggesting that we can have the same to know how many people our members have served, for example, during the annual survey on that year, and how they have supported these communities, so that it becomes easier for us to share stories and also showcase more of the power of smalls. There was an idea on influencing. So for example, we can use those numbers. That's why I started with that shared data. We can use those numbers, for example, to influence and share them with, for example, the top 100 wealthy people, or the top 100 CSR companies, to also know the kind of impact that is being done by smalls, also influencing more philanthropic networks, funder networks, and funder groups to also take a look and focus on the small charity sectors as well. And there was, I know that there was the shift of the conversation from shifting the power and sharing the power all the way to the funding situation that happened in the past year. But there was an aspect on shared learning where people can probably focus on sharing more about some of the things that they're doing, and a few number of topics came up, such as other people are still working in the WASH projects, so they say that they might be open to learning best practices. There are people who are working with refugees, and they would also like to focus a bit on resilience and livelihoods and building those for refugees. And I don't know if there is anything and there is also something else about member participation. And I think an aspect that came out was imposter syndrome. Yes, sometimes people might want to do something, but there is still a little bit of imposter syndrome, especially in joining big spaces, because of how they're not so good in such spaces. So I don't know if Olivia has something to add, or Zara, but those are some of the key things, apart from the ones that have been mentioned by Corey and Janine, that kind of came up in our group.
Lovely. Excellent. Thank you. There's some tons of content and also a real mix of discussions as well. And yeah, some really good some good points, from, and funny enough, kind of squared the circle in the end, because picking up with the kind of buddying system reference, and then the point that you raised there at the end, Tamal, about kind of people not always wanting to kind of big space and go into small spaces. So actually a buddying system would be perfect, possibly as a tool to support that point raised. So yeah, I think that's given us lots of things to think about and consider as we go into this year and build and refresh the strategy. So thank you, really appreciate your time in staying on to do that session. This is very much appreciated. Thank you. I'll just put my notes in there. Right, we're at the last few minutes, so just to finalise by just reminding everyone, obviously there'll be copies of the slides will be made available. They will be on the members area of the website, and they'll be shared. Links and things will be shared to everybody who signed up and registered onto Zoom. We have lots of opportunities to get involved. So whether you just want to do a one-off group forum or meeting, then please do that. The whole point of this is that it's a peer network, shared and delivered and supported, peers. So if you want to share, amplify and influence, please do share your stories. And as was referenced there, if there are stories that you're already sharing and you would like us to share them, again, please just contact us on our admin at sidcn.org. That's kind of the main email. That if you email things, that it'll ultimately get to the right place. Connect. So upcoming, there is the surveys I mentioned at the start coming out after this poll, and I think there's an upcoming survey as well linked to our CDO grant. So please look out for that. And I believe we have a couple of small donations we're going to choose a couple of out of a hat, obviously, for those who do the survey, and there'll be some donations to your charities. Working group, there's always opportunities for people to join the working groups, whether it's for a one-off project or if you want to get a bit more involved. You can email the admin and we can drop into the Friday. We meet once a month on a Friday, and then each working group may have ad hoc meetings in between, but please do drop us a line if you're interested in even just coming along and hear what we talk about. Speaking opportunities, we will have the fest this year. There will be coming out over the next I imagine month or two. I would hope by the end of February that we'll start to have an idea and be putting out a request for speakers, and what else is there? There are the Friday morning connect still going on strong. Again, you can access that via the Facebook group, and there's also links on, I think, the website, and there's the thematic groups as well. Don't forget the Radical Change podcast. If you're not already, subscribed, please do subscribe. The link is on the website. Literally, if you go into the website, you can't miss it. There's a big drop down that says our podcast, or you can go on to Instagram and the Radical Change podcast. You can follow us there and hear some of those lovely podcasts, because as I said, we've got lots more to come. You can go onto the website under your stories, and if you go to the very bottom, you can also provide a bit of a summary of the kind of thing that you'd like to share, whether it be in a blog or on a podcast, and complete that, and that goes to the team. On the website, we now have a lovely events page. It makes it really clear as and when all the meetings are, and the links and the sign-ups. So again, please do go onto the upcoming events, and hopefully that makes it clear as well. I think that's everything. Basically, go to the website or email the team. I just realised I've not got a thank you. I apologise. There should be a thank you slide as we come to the last couple of minutes. Just to say thank you to everybody for all your support and connecting and peer learning and sharing that you do. The Facebook group would not be what it is today if it wasn't for you responding to each other's kind of requests and things like that. So thank you very much. Thank you to the team, for Alice and Izzy, for just continuing to make it work, supporting the trustees, making today be the day that it is, organising it. Thank you for all the trustees for supporting and attending and being a really active group of trustees like I have never experienced. Yeah, just thank you all. Continue to keep on keeping on. As I said at the start, we've seen a lot of anti-solidarity, and the one thing that keeps me going is the global solidarity that I see in the SIDCN membership. So please keep on keeping on, and we will do whatever we can to continue to amplify, connect you, and influence those key stakeholders. So have a lovely rest of your afternoon. Have a good weekend when it arrives, and thank you again. See you at the fest.